Hello John, I'm making this video for you about the SIG Sauer SHR970 Trigger unit. I've got one and I've had a look at it, and I think I know the problems that you're having and how you may be able to cure them. So I'll start on the unit that I've got here, so as you can see where you might be able to cure the problem yourself. This, I guess, is the unit that you will have. It's the normal standard SIG Sauer SHR970 unit. So, right, so the piece that you're particularly looking for, sorry I've not done this before, so is this silver piece just here with this little dink in it. That's the piece that actually controls whether or not you can pull the trigger. So if you take it out of your gun and then operate, you can see that when it's in the fire position, it's against the right hand side, and when it's in the left hand, and when it's in the non-fire position, it's pushed over to the left hand side. If you watch, so that's the middle safe position and then the safe position, so you can see it move from one side to the other. Now when you look down it longitudinally, if that's the right word, then you'll see it's reasonably straight, and when you look down inside the trigger, which unfortunately you cannot see here, is that the edge of the trigger itself protrudes past this black piece that lies on what would be the left hand side. So this piece just in here, and it protrudes when you take it out and you look down there with a torch or something, and you can see how far that silver piece actually comes down. It actually gets in the way of the trigger moving. So if you find that when you look down the silver piece, down along here, it's not straight and therefore does not stay over to the left hand side. So see it move from the right hand side to the left hand side and then stays on the left hand side, and that movement is actually brought about by this sear moving here as well. Once again, you can't, it's kind of difficult to see, but you can see that it's pushed out, so that little wobble in the silver, that little outward jut in the silver bit, is what makes it move out and then stay out, and then this piece on the end of the little silver bit actually then interferes with the trigger. So that's what you need to look for, John. Take your trigger unit out and have a look and see if that is moving across. Now, what I did with one of these triggers before is I've got some needles. So in order to straighten up that piece, that silver piece there, you need something that's going to be quite strong and quite straight. So what I did, I'm going to put this down now. Junk here. Okay, so what I did to straighten up my trigger unit is get a needle and then with it in the engaged position, so it's pushed over to the left hand side as far as it will possibly go, or as far as it will go before you've corrected it, is then push a needle down at 90 degrees. You might need a larger needle. That was quite a fine one, so we'll go for a larger, bit chunkier needle. And then I've pushed the needle down so as it then lies at 90 degrees, so it's going all the way down to the silver tang, okay, in the right position. Then put it onto the shoot mode, okay, so as it's actually then got free space to move. And then what I've done is I've got a pair of some needle nose pliers and gone across from this point here, to this point here, and squeezed it so as it will rest, so as the needle is taking the strain then. So if your piece of metal isn't straight, it is possible to straighten it up by putting in a needle and then squeezing across here, and then you can then take your needle out and then check that obviously it's then going back, so as it's then going, the silver piece is then going back against this edge here on the top, and then when it's then engaged, you see it slides across and it's then against this edge at the bottom here, and it's that edge that it needs to stay against quite tight without moving until you disengage it. Because as I say, if you get a torch and you look down in this area down here, operate the trigger at the same time, you'll see what I mean about this silver part here having to move across and then get in the way of the trigger. Anyway, so that's how I've cured them in the past, making sure that this silver bar, nice and straight, moves across, stays across, and then just to show you that it obviously does work, is so that's in the fire position. So that's firing. Now we're going to put it into the safe position. And then the final safe position. So, as you can see, it does work, and if you can't get yours to work, as you can see, it's a pretty good condition trigger. Anyway, tiny little bit of rub just in here. I'm quite lucky because I got a set trigger on mine. Got two different triggers on mine. Push my trigger forward and it becomes a set trigger, and pull it as normal and it's a normal trigger.